Recording is on.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend, where we take a fusion of a little bit of Tai Chi to warm up. We blend that with some standing work with Barre and Pilates and yoga, and then we'll take it down to a mat for a little bit of core work and stretching. What I have today is a chair. If you have one, it's great in case you need it for balance with our standing exercises. I also have a yoga block and a strap as well. If you have those or something that you can use for a yoga block or strap, that would be great. So make sure that you're listening to your body today. The exercises that I provide are available for all levels. We'll be focusing a little bit on balance and stability as well. So hence the use of the chair or the wall will be really nice to have today. So clearing your space, we'll start with a little bit of Tai Chi warming up. And we'll bring the feet a little bit wider than the hips, with the toes slightly turned out. Soften through the knees just a little bit. Pull the abdominals in, a little tuck of the tailbone here, and really lengthen tall through the spine. Bring the fingertips forward right in front of you. We'll inhale the breath. And then as you exhale and press the palms down, just soften into the knees a little bit. And we'll breathe in, rising up. And breathe out. So our meditative movement to begin the class is very slow. It's very calming. Enables us to clear our mind and prepare for our class today with no worries, no stresses, no anxiety. Just here and now in the present moment. Now growing this movement a little bigger, scoop up, turn the palms to face the ceiling, stretch, and then open the arms and soften back down. Inhale and exhale. So just check in and see how your body's feeling today, how the shoulders feeling, the hips, the knees, the lower back. If there's anything that you're protecting today from an injury or a surgery, some sore muscles, just take your time. See what feels best for you. If you need to leave anything out today, feel free to do that as well. Let's finish one more of these breaths. Inhale, nice and full breath. And exhale. Good. Now rise back up. You're just going to begin to turn your body from side to side. And I want your arms to feel so heavy and relaxed, like you don't have any control over them. So as you're rotating side to side, your arms are just slapping on your body. Just as if you can't use them at all. They're not working. And then we'll start to pivot on one foot. So you'll lift a heel, lift a heel, lift a heel. And then begin to look to one side and to the other. This is a great spinal rotation warm up. Just releases tension from the shoulders and the upper back. A little bit of movement in the neck. And you're just breathing whenever it feels comfortable for you. So I'm lifting a heel up and rotating on the ball of my foot so that I'm releasing the grip on the floor, so that my thighs can also rotate with my hips. Let's do two more each side. And then just come right back to the center. Close your eyes for a moment. Just notice how your body's feeling. You might feel a little increase in your heart rate, a little bit of tingling as we've gotten the blood flowing. And then blink your eyes back open. Right palm on top of left for cloud hands. When you soften down into the knees, you can widen them a little bit. We'll start to rotate one side and then flip the palms on the other, left over right, as you rotate the other direction. We're stabilizing in the legs, so not moving in the lower body. It's rotating from side to side. Head follows the rotation of the spine. You're moving at whatever pace feels good for you. connecting with your core and the oblique muscles. And we'll start to add some movement of the body. So as you're twisting to the right, step in with that left foot, then twist the other way and step in. Rotate. Step in, rotate, step in. It can be a small step. You don't have to bend your knees if you just want to step here with some gentle movement side to side. Or you can really deepen it down, squat and raise up, squat and raise up. One more each direction, cloud hands. Then squat back out, bring the palms right in front of you and press forward into a block. Good. Now flex the wrists, one direction and the other, opening the fingers. Sinking as low as you'd like into those legs and feel the work there. Rotate the wrist. Circle. You can make a soft fist or keep the fingers open. Rotate the other direction. If you need to come out of the legs, feel free to do so. Then come back into your block, press out. And then pull the arms back behind you, open up the chest, and press into your block. Inhale, pull the elbows back. Exhale, press out. Nice and strong through the legs, quads and glutes. As you press out, exhale, pull the belly in towards the spine. 2 more repetitions. Open the heart. And exhale. 1 more. And exhale, hold that block. Pick up the right heel. Set it down. Pick up the left heel. Set it down. Right and down. Left and down. 1 more each side, warming up through the ankle. Shifting that body weight just a little bit from side to side and hold. Take a nice big deep breath in, side bend, stretch. And breathe in and stretch. 1 more each side. Inhale up and hold, send your gaze up to the fingertips, and then press the palms at your heart and soften those knees back down into your squat. So take your hands in that prayer position, circle them over the head to the right, and I'm pressing a little bit into the palms, side bending and rotating the spine. Inhale to come around to the back. Exhale to come around to the front. Now, if the shoulders feel a little bit tender to go clear above the head, just do this movement with the spine, not bringing the arms up. Let's take 1 more around to that right side. Pausing in the center, inhale and reverse. The legs are getting a little tired. You can come up out of the squat, keep going, around. Just loosening up the whole spine, the lats, big muscles under the armpits, the pectorals, the shoulders, and all the while really keeping the core engaged. 3 more. You can slow this way, way down if you'd like. Last time coming around. Hold, pressing the palms, shoulders back and down. And then straighten the legs. We'll pivot the right foot out to the right, and then take that left foot and make it parallel to the side of your mat. Come into Warrior Two. We'll straighten this right leg and then sink down and bend the knee into the Warrior Two. Inhale. Exhale. We're warming up through the quad on that right side and working this strong muscle in the leg. If shoulders get tired, hands can come to hips or even palms to heart center. Now, as we straighten this leg up, we'll come into reverse warrior and then we'll sink back into Warrior Two. So straighten the leg, the arm rises, reverse, and then sink down, Warrior Two. Good. Wonderful standing, strengthening pose. You might feel the heart rate rising a little bit here. So we're moving these large muscles. And 2 more repetitions. Last one, big stretch, extend, and then sink into that Warrior Two. We'll take a counter stretch, side bending, and hold in side angle pose. Create a nice solid line from your outside ankle into your fingertips. Hold 3 breaths. Shoulders are level. Imagine there's a wall behind you and you're gluing both shoulders into the wall. And we'll breathe in to come back to your Warrior Two. And press palms at your heart. We'll reverse the feet. So pivot, turning that right foot in, turning the left foot out. Come into your Warrior Two. Nice and solid. This knee tracking over the ankle. And with the breath, inhale to straighten the left leg. Exhale to sink into that warrior. Now check to make sure the shoulders aren't elevating. We're not hunching up here. So really press the shoulder blades down. If arms get tired, relax them. They're just an accessory to the pose. Now moving into reverse warrior as you straighten the leg. Reach up. And exhale, sink. Wonderful way to strengthen that front leg. Doesn't have to be a deep knee bend. Wherever you'd like to take it. With the breath, inhale, stretch. Exhale, find strength. 3 more repetitions. And 2. 1 more breath, stretch up. Sink into that warrior 2, hold, and then a counter stretch into side angle. Lengthen. Imagine someone's pulling your wrist, extending it up on the diagonal, creating a dynamic tension in the side body. 3 breaths. And inhale to come back to your warrior 2. Press palms at the heart. And straighten that left leg. Pivot both feet forward. Take your fists and place them at your sacrum behind you. Pull your shoulder blades back and lift your heart. Little baby back bend here. Feel your core working in the spinal extension. Feel the stretch through the fronts of the shoulders. 1 more breath. And exhale, coming back up. Release the hands and step the feet together. If you have a chair, we'll be using that next. Coming into a Pilates movement called développé. So So turn your toes out about hips, or not hips distance apart, but heels touching tight together. This is our Pilates position 1. We'll stand on our right leg for support. Lift the left knee. The toe is turned out as we extend the leg out. Bend and set it back down. Same side. We bend and extend. Bend and down. Now, if you don't need the chair, just bring your arms maybe out, or you can press palms at your heart and use your balance. Now, the higher you lift the knee before you straighten it, the harder it's going to be to get full extension, especially if your hamstrings are tight. So this is okay to be down here. 3 more repetitions. Bend, extend. Développé means to open up. So we're opening up that hamstring, lengthening. 1 more time. Extend it out and hold. The toe is pointed. Tap it to the floor and lift. Tap it to the floor and lift. Now, keeping our pelvis really stable is important. So we're making sure that the pelvis isn't rocking forward and back. The abdominals really glued in. 2 more. Up and hold. Flex the ankle and point. Flex and point. This quadricep really working. If the leg needs to lower, feel free to hold it in a comfortable place. 2 more. Last one, flex point, bend the knee back in, and set it down. So we put all of those movements together for our développé sequence. Lift the leg, extend, tap the floor, and lift. Flex the ankle and point, bend the knee in, and set it down. And again, bend, extend, tap, lift, flex, point, bend, and lower. We have 4 more repetitions. Mindful movement, mind-body connection as we recall the sequence. 3 more. Bend, extend, tap, lift, flex, point, bend, and close. 2 more. Feel the work in your standing leg, your stabilizing leg. We feel that hip working. 1 more développé sequence, bend, extend, tap, lift, flex, point, bend, and rest. Coming back to our position 1, releve and lower, releve and lower, lift, lift, raise up and hold. Bend your knees, open out into a small plie, and rise up. So we're up on the heels, opening the knees, closing. 3. Oh, I feel the legs shaking. 2. Chair or wall for balance. Last 1. And drop those heels down. Nicely done. As we move our balance into the left leg, if you want, you can move your chair around to the other side as well. We'll place the weight onto the left leg for our développé. We'll bend the knee, has some turnout, extend it to a toe point, bend and lower. Now with the breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Or you could do a long inhalation and then a long exhalation. So just noticing how this side feels as compared to the other. And mostly, how is your balance on this side, on that left foot standing up? Might be a little bit more challenging. Try to get that leg completely straight. That's where this quadricep really fires. take it out, extending the legs straight, and hold the toe point. Tap and lift. Tap, lift. Good. Sometimes I like hands on hips here because then I can feel with my hands if my pelvis is rocking forward and back or side to side. 3 more. Lift and hold. Hold that leg up tight. Flex, point. Flex, point. Feel your shin muscle and your calf muscle while this quad and hip flexor are super active. Nice long spine, good posture. One more time, flex and point. Bend your knee, come back down. Our entire sequence. Bend and extend. Tap and lift. Flex, point. Bend and close to position 1. Inhale, exhale. Tap, lift. Flex, point. Bend and lower. 4 more. What muscles are talking to you right now? Really controlled. Try not to speed up too fast so we don't have any momentum. 2 more. Bend, extend. Tap, lift. Flex, point. And again, lift. Okay, guys, I lost count. That's that mind-body connection. Good. I think that's 5. Let's go for 1 more on this side. Tap, lift. Flex, point. Bend and close. Back to your position 1. Releve. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. I'm having trouble balancing on my right foot today. I came around the corner and stubbed my toe on the mop board. It's amazing how much you need your little toe. Hold it up. Little plie, down and close. Down and close. Way up on the balls of the feet. 2 more repetitions. And up. 1 more. And up. And drop those heels down. Excellent. Just circle the shoulders. Take your hands behind your back, interlace fingers, nice big chest expansion. Just a couple of breaths here. Release any tension in the neck, in the shoulders. And relax. We'll move into a modified sun salutation. So come to the top of your mat in mountain pose. Your feet can be tight together or hips distance apart. We'll inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Exhale to sit into chair pose, Utkatasana. So we bend the knees, weight back in the heels. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, fold down to the floor, step back to plank or kneeling plank. And we'll hold here, nice and stable. You can drop those knees down. Nice long spine through the crown of the head. So when we come into downward dog today, you have the option of moving into child's pose. So the look of those 2 poses, downward facing dog, we keep the legs straight. We lift up, lifting the tailbone to the sky. Or your child's pose, you set your knees down and then set your hips back. The arms are the same. So I want that extended position through the shoulders. So take the one that works best for you and we hold here. 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Now, if you're in child's pose, you You can lift back up and we'll send the right leg up to the ceiling. Take a step through for warrior one. So our foot comes between the hands. We plant the back foot about 45 degrees. And we rise up into our closed hip pose. Take a chest expansion here with goalpost arms, lifting the heart to the sky. And then reach back down to the mat. So your choice to switch legs, you can either step the back foot forward and the front foot back, or you can move back into your downward facing dog to switch legs. So that will be your transition option today. If you went through down dog, lift your left leg, send it through your hands, rise up to warrior one. Take your chest expansion, pulling the shoulder blades back, lift the heart. And then we'll reach down to the mat and step the back foot forward into forward bend. Rise halfway, fingertips float up the shins to half lift. Exhale and fold back into your forward bend, soft knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rising all the way up. Exhale into chair pose, Utkatasana. We'll flow through that sequence one more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dive down into your forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And walk your feet back to plank or kneeling plank. Hold and breathe. So in plank, make sure the butt's not up in the air or the hips sagging. We want a really nice straight line, as much as you can get it. Two choices on your next pose. Either push to downward facing dog or drop the knees and push back to an extended child's pose. Hold there, 3 breaths. If you're in down dog, you're pressing the heels nicely into the mat, lengthening the backs of the legs. If you're in child's pose, we come back up. This time we'll lift the left leg first and take a nice big step through towards the top of your mat, turning the right foot about 45 degrees. Rise up, warrior one. Chest expansion, open up through the chest and the fronts of the shoulders. Then reach back down to the mat. You have 2 choices. Either step the back foot forward to switch or step the front foot back to downward facing dog and step through with the right leg. Take your time to get to the other side. When you're there, come back up to your warrior one and open through the heart. My arms are really active as I'm pulling back. So not loose arms, but you're firing up the muscles in the upper back. Then we'll reach back down to the floor, step that left foot forward into forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, all the way up, extend through the fingertips. And we'll finish in chair pose, powerful pose, thunderbolt. Press palms at your heart, and then rise back up to mountain pose. We'll work on balance one more time, so if you need your chair for a little bit of support, you've got it next to you or your wall. So we'll stand onto the right leg, pick up the left knee, flex your foot, rotate that knee out, set it across the right thigh. So we're going to sit into standing pigeon. With your chair next to you, an option is to go ahead and sit in your chair as you normally would and cross that ankle over your thigh and fold over the leg. So our option here is to hold this pose as we are, feel the stretch, or to strengthen the leg by rising up, straightening the standing leg, and then bending and sitting back down into the pose. So you choose, do you need that stable flexibility training today, or do you need strengthening of your legs and balance? And we're up and down. If you're rising and falling with a leg, we'll take one more. And then hold that down, stretching through the external rotators. A nice hip stretch. One more breath. And rising up. And switch the legs. Balancing on the left, lift up the right knee, flex the ankle, rotate, bring it across. So I'm opening this knee out and start to bend down. If you're sitting in your chair, just cross that ankle over your thigh and bend your body forward as you're sitting. If you choose to strengthen this leg, we push through the floor and stand, and then bend the knee and sit back. So essentially, we're doing a one-legged squat here as we straighten the leg and bend the knee. And we're going through a range of motion that's comfortable, not pressing too deep, and try to flow with the breath. 2 more repetitions, rise and sink. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, sit into that standing pigeon. 3 breaths. Pull the belly in towards the spine. 2 more breaths. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Rising up. Uncross the legs. Take a nice big inhale, stretch up. And exhaling down. Coming back into standing bar. So you'll need your chair right out in front of your body to place your hands on top. So if you don't want to bend over far, you can have the top edge of your chair here, or you can turn your chair to where you can set your hands to the lower edge of your chair. So we'll take a nice big deep breath in, stretch. As you exhale, reach the hands forward, place them into a comfortable place on your chair. Keep your pelvis level and take your right leg straight back behind you. So if you take a peek underneath and look at your foot back there, make sure your toes are pointing down so we have a nice level hip. And we'll lift and squeeze the leg and lower a couple of inches. Lift and lower. Now you can let go of that chair with one or both hands to focus on your balance and core strength. The upper body should look like a plank. So it's as straight as we can get it, lengthening through the crown of the head as we squeeze up the leg with the glute and lower. So this is great counter work from the développé sequence we did where we lifted the leg up to the front. So it's important to balance our muscle groups, lifting that leg up to the back. 1 more. Now bend this knee and straighten. Again, you can be higher up on your chair so you're not quite so bent forward. Use your hamstring, bend and extend. 2 more. Lots of work in your standing hip. Now bend that knee and hold it bent. Push your heel up to the ceiling and down. Up to the ceiling, down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the leg back to straight. Lower it back down to the mat. And then just reach the fingertips out long onto your chair for a stretch here. This is a standing downward facing dog, so we have the arms way out ahead of us to open up through the chest and the heart. One more breath. And exhale. Now if you need to stand back up for a moment, feel free to do that, or transition into the other side. Nice long spine. We'll send the left leg straight back. Toes are pointing down. Make sure your hip isn't rotating up, so we have a nice level pelvis right across the hip. Leg is active. Foot is flexed, or you can point the toe, and we'll lift the leg up and lower down just a couple of inches. Lift. So what's really important here as I'm lifting the leg is I don't want my back to arch and my pelvis to move with this exercise. So the pelvis, super still, and I'm just lifting the leg at the height that feels okay. Just a small range of motion. Abs really pulled in. 3 more repetitions. Lift. And 2. Lift. And 1. Now bend that knee in. Extend it out. Bend it in. If your lower back is bothering you at all, come to a higher position and do this movement more standing. Neutral spine. 3, 2. Bend and hold. Your heel is going to press up to the ceiling and down a few inches. 5. Exhale, push up. 4. That leg's feeling heavy. 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the leg, lower it down. Take a little stretch here, walk your fingertips forward. Let your chest just relax through the space. Little stretch for your lats. Lift your sitting bones up behind you slightly. And then come up just enough with hands on the chair to lift the body slightly. Take your right foot, press it back behind you, and draw your heel really close to the floor for a standing calf stretch. If it would feel more comfortable, you can come up even further and be doing the pose from here. Either way is absolutely fine. Back foot is straight forward to get that stretch. The further the foot is behind you, the more intensity you'll feel in that ankle. And then we'll step that back foot into switch, stretching the calf, press the heel down. Working on flexibility of the ankle, the Achilles tendon. It helps with plantar fasciitis when we're tight underneath the bottom of the foot. That travels all the way up the back of the lower leg. All right, moving into a Pilates mat series. So you don't need your chair, you'll slide that off to the side. But if you have a yoga block and a strap, I want them to be accessible to you as you come down onto the floor. So we're going to come right down onto our back. And we'll go through a couple of exercises, mat exercises with options. So the first one is called the single leg stretch. So the knees come up and the head can either stay down or we can curl up into an abdominal crunch and lift the head and shoulders. We'll bring the right knee in towards us as we extend the left leg out and then switch. Pull the left knee in and switch. Now, if we're curled up, head and shoulders lifted, we imprint that lower back down into the floor. It's called imprint in Pilates. If our head and shoulders are down, we can be more in neutral spine where there's a little small space under the lower back. Just moving this at any pace that feels good for you. You can try a few with the head up and then always lay it back down if your neck's getting tired. Now, starting to add a little rotation for bicycle. As we pull the right knee in, we look over the right shoulder and then to the left. Another option is to use your fingertips to support your head as you rotate from side to side. Feel those obliques working. Now, if your lower back is bothering you, we take that leg extension away and the foot comes down to the floor, and then we rotate to the other side. So that's always an option with this exercise. Let's take one more to each side, to the right and to the left. Then bring the knees back to table and set the head and shoulders down. So that's single leg stretch and bicycle. Now we'll move into double leg stretch. So we'll just bring the knees up to table or the feet to the floor, and imagine that you have a hat on your head, and you're going to grab hold of the hat, take it off to reach your arms up, and then circle your arms around and grab your knees and pull them up to your chest. Take your hat, reach it off, circle the arms, pull the knees into the chest. So that's the basic movement. If we want to add more, we curl up. As we take off the hat, we extend the legs either up to the ceiling or out lower, circle the arms, pull back in. Extend arms and legs, circle, pull in. Extend, circle, pull in. Head can stay down. This is absolutely fine. Legs can lift high or low, bracing the core. Now for the breath, beginner's Pilates breath, you exhale in the hardest part of the exercise, and then inhale while you're relaxing. Exhale and inhale. Intermediate Pilates breath, you'll inhale during the hardest part of the exercise and exhale as you're relaxing. So you choose which one works better for you and helps you to stabilize your core. 2 more repetitions. Double leg stretch. 1 more. Set the head and shoulders down. Now we'll put those 3 movements into a sequence, starting with single leg stretch, head down or head up. Pull the right knee in. Pull the left. Any pace. Now you can pick this up, make it a little bit more active. Inhale and exhale. 10 seconds. If you need to take a break, take it. We go right into bicycle. Feet can go to the floor. Breathe. Rotate. Ten seconds. Take a break if you need it, or right into double leg stretch. Choose your breath, either exhaling as the arms and legs are extended, or inhaling. You don't have to use those legs, you can be right here. 10 seconds. One more repetition. Relax the head and relax the feet. Okay, bridge pose, and have your block close by if you would like to use it for a supported bridge. So feet are hips distance apart, press down into the feet, tuck the tailbone and lift up into bridge. And then tuck and roll back down. Come back to neutral at the bottom. Tuck the pelvis under. Roll up. And roll down. One more repetition. We'll hold that bridge right at the top. Shoulders relaxed, neck is relaxed. Small pulsing movements. We lift the hips up, 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 lift, lift. Now where I want you to put this emphasis is the backs of the legs. We did a lot of work for quads today in our practice, so we want to balance that out with some reversing that movement, focusing on the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll down. Now widen the feet just a little bit wider. Turn your toes out slightly so your knees are going to open. Tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, come up into bridge. Maybe you can go higher as the knees are open. Rotate pelvis and back down. Neutral spine, tuck, lift one vertebra at a time. Lower, tucking at the end. 2 more repetitions. Firing the glutes, the hamstrings. And this last one, we hold it at the top. Now you can keep your entire feet down or lift up the balls of the feet. Press into your heels. Small pulses, up, up, up. Squeeze hamstrings and glutes. Lift, lift. The bridge doesn't need to be high. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Set the feet back to flat and roll down one vertebra at a time. Now turn your toes in, let your knees fall in to touch. If they don't touch, walk your feet a little closer. We're going to try to roll up to bridge with the knees staying connected. So tuck the tailbone, let the hips rise. Ooh, I'm not coming up very high on this one. And then roll back down. So our range of motion is smaller when we have this inward rotation of the thighs and down. Work on that spinal mobility as much as you can as you roll up one vertebra. And roll down. Try to keep the knees connected, inner thighs working. Let's take this last one up to the top and hold. Now squeeze the backs of the legs. Squeeze the glutes. Small pulses. Up, 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 up. Just breathe. Very isolating work. Very focused. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. And one vertebra at a time, roll down. Bring your feet back to parallel, neutral. If you have your block and you'd like to use it to support the back, we'll roll back up into bridge. Place the block underneath the hips and relax them right on top. So what this does is it gives us a little bit higher position of the pelvis so we can get some blood flow going towards the heart. If you don't have a block, you can set your hips back right down on the floor. Take your yoga strap, place it under the bottom of your right foot. We're going to extend that leg up towards the ceiling. A stretch for the hamstring. The lower leg now starts to drop down, sliding the heel out nice and long. So if you are on your yoga block, the benefit of this is to increase the stretch in your left hip flexor. And we'll lengthen the back of the right thigh and the front of the left hip. Holding and breathing. And I have the strap under the ball of the foot so that I can actually flex my ankle and get more stretch down this posterior chain. Now we're going to hold on to the strap with the left hand and slightly pull this leg across to feel a stretch in the IT band. I'm still staying really level on my block, so I'm not rolling over to the left hip. It's just a little movement over with the leg. One more breath here into the IT band. And then bring that leg back to center. Bend your knee and relax the foot right to the floor. Take the strap under the ball of your left foot. Lengthen that leg up to the ceiling. So we let the strap lengthen so you can get this leg completely straight. It might be down low, wherever you can get it to straighten. And then we'll take that right leg and lengthen it out long to open up your hip flexor. So I have a larger block and I have it on the lowest setting, but blocks have 3 different heights. So you can play with this to see what feels comfortable for your back. You can also just roll up a little towel or something and place it under your hips, just to get some elevation. Just relax through your breathing. That lower leg feels nice and heavy to open up the right hip flexor. And then we'll hold our strap with the right hand and slightly bring that left leg across the midline to say good morning to the IT band, which for some of us can be extremely tight. Slow breath in and out through the nose. And then bring that leg back to the midline. Slide the strap off the foot. And then we'll set the feet back down to the floor. If you're on the block, you can be in a supported bridge here. Or if this feels okay for your lower back, send both of your legs out long. And hold this supported back bend. So choice is to stay here with legs long and lengthened, either on the block or on the floor. Or we can rebend those knees and let them open out into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, where we get a little release through the groin and the inner thigh. And again, you can be up on your block or flat onto the mat. And we'll come into a breath retention pranayama or breath practice. So begin to inhale, maybe a count of 3. Then pause and hold the breath without breathing for a count of 2. Then exhale again for a count of 3. Pause at the end of the exhalation for a count of 2. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Now take as many of those breaths as you'd like, relaxing the mind and the body. If this position becomes uncomfortable for you, you need to remove the block. Bring yourself into a place where you can relax and focus on the breath. If you're still following the breath retention, take 2 more rounds of the breath. Then come back to a normal breath flow. And feel the calming and peaceful power of your pranayama practice. If you're on the block, we'll bring the knees back to set the feet flat. Push down into the feet, lift up off the block, slide it out from underneath the pelvis. Roll down. We'll take a counter stretch for the low back, so either pulling the knees up to the chest, or we'll take happy baby. So we bend the knees about 90 degrees, separate them wide, reach for the outside of one foot and the other, and pull those knees right down towards the armpits. If you'd like, you can rock a little bit from side to side to give your low back a stretch. You feel the glutes lengthening, the lumbar spine. And then bring your knees right back into your chest. Set your feet flat on the floor. Open your arms out like a T or to goalpost. We'll drop the knees over just briefly to the right side for a gentle twist. And bring them back through the center. Drop the knees to the left side and twist. Come back to the center. And roll all the way over onto the right side. Make a pillow for your head. Take a couple of breaths here. And then using your arms, press yourself up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Either simple cross-leg pose or extending the legs straight out, nice long spine. And we'll drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Let the neck relax. Roll the chin down towards the chest, stretching the back of the neck. Bring the head back to neutral. Tip the left ear towards the left shoulder, just a nice lateral flexion of the spine, the cervical spine. And then roll that chin right down to the chest. And bring the head back to center. Press palms at the heart. We'll inhale. Open out into chest expansion. Look to the right. Exhale, close the palms, let the chin drop. Inhale, open the arms, look to the left. And close. One more each side, open, turn the head. And let the chin drop. Turn left. And let the chin drop. Bring the head back to neutral as you open. And then inwardly rotate your shoulders so you're reaching your hands back behind you. Clasp the fingertips. Open up the chest, lifting your arms any amount from the back body. 3 breaths in this nice chest expansion. And then relax the hands. Take a nice big deep breath in. Gaze to your fingertips. Draw in all that is good, all that is positive, all that is joy. Press palms at the heart, and it is my honor and my pleasure to guide you through your practice today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. If you need to click off